Hi guys, and welcome to the first episode of the Cheap Beasts or Budget Beasts player review series. In this series, the main point of the series will be for the players who obviously don't have that many coins. It will give them options for players they can pick up who will be very good on a cheap budget. And the first one we're going to be doing is CJ Anderson, just because he's a player that I know a hell of a lot about, because I actually still use him in my main team. Even though I have lots of coins at my disposal, I still go with CJ Anderson just because of how good he is. And there's a few things I think that do make him very good above the rest. He doesn't have breakaway speed, as you can see here. He does get caught up by a few linebackers. He'll get caught up by pretty much any cornerback, and even a few D linemen will catch him. So speed isn't the main thing about his game that will set him above anyone else. The thing that I think sets him above everyone else is for his size. He's not a power back at his size, obviously. He's only 5'8", and he only has sort of high 70s, maybe just in the 80s on strength. But what sets him apart with his size is the elusiveness that comes with it. He doesn't have a very insanely high elusive stat, but as you can see from these clips, he is very elusive when running behind the line. He's not a type of running back you just want to run straight up the centre with. That is not his strength. I mean, he's not bad at it, but it's not his strength. If you can get to the outside with him, you'll be able to bob and weave past pretty much any opponent. As you'll see in these clips, I am running pretty much the same running play just because it was working a lot in these plays. But when he gets one-on-one with a defender, if you can get time to get a good juke move in, his juke move is pretty decent. If you can get time to get a good juke move in, he'll get around that defender 9 times out of 10, and then you should be gone in the open field, because once he gets into the open field, he's very, very tough to bring down. As you can see here, once again, open field, he's against the defender. He would have broken that tackle if not for the sideline. He ends up breaking a hell of a lot of tackles. So if you're someone who doesn't run up the centre, they want to get to the outside and they want to pick up someone who'll break tackles, who just get that little bit of extra yardage for you on runs, he is your guy. And he's very cheap. At the moment, on PS4 and on Xbox, he's going for under 10k. So pretty much anyone has 10k at their disposal. As you can see here, very nice little juke move. That's something you can do with him quite well, because since he's so small, there's obviously less area for defenders to tackle him, to hit him, and it just ends up benefiting a hell of a lot. So throughout all these plays, as you'll see, I'm not just saying every good play does. Sometimes one-on-one he will get brought down by the bigger defenders. If they can get a hold of him, sometimes there is a low chance of him actually getting away from him. He hasn't got the strength or the speed to get away. But as you can see here, he does fight for extra yards, which is quite a nice trait to have. If I look at all his traits, he has fight for extra yards, and he has the clutch trait and brace versus medium hitters. Every other trait is a no. He's not a very good receiving back, but besides that, if you're trying to get to the outside with a nice elusive back, he is very good for you, and his pass blocking is also very good. He's sort of like the Ezekiel Elliott. Very, very good at pass blocking. He'll get a lot of cut blocks that will end up giving you a few extra seconds in the pocket. And once he gets to the open field, once again, as you can see here, breaking a tackle, breaking another tackle off JJ Watt there, doesn't come down instantly, and ends up getting a touchdown for us in that play. So the way I'm going to review these cards is I'll give them a certain set of characteristics to review them by. These are the ones for CJ Anderson. Speed, all of these are out of 10. Speed, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I mean, he's got 90 speed. If you get the Super Bowl past chemistry up, that goes up to 91. Not the fastest. There are backs with 93, 94, maybe even 95 speed coming up now, which does make quite a big difference, but he's not slow by any stretch of the imagination. Power. No, I'll give him an 8 for that. He has the bruising backhand, which does help his trucking, and he's got quite high trucking anyway. I think it's in the 90s, and since he's so small, if people tend to hit stick, they tend to miss him. And power, another thing about power, when you're doing a forward truck move, he will get some very nice animations off of that. Elusiveness, I've personally given him a 10 just because of his height. Since he's so small and he's so nimble, defenders will just end up missing him a hell of a lot of the time. And that is obviously the main point of the elusiveness. He also breaks a lot of tackles, and if he had the battle ready chem, I think he'd be worth a hell of a lot more coin-wise. Blocking, I give him an 8. He does tend to pick up pretty much every block, but sometimes they can get around him. Obviously, that's due to his size and his strength. If it's a bigger defensive end he has to block, they're going to get past him pretty much instantly. But for the linebackers, he tends to put up a pretty good blocking for them. Chemistries, Super Bowl past is a very good chemistry, but it's pretty hard to actually fill out. Not many people will actually be able to fill out the Super Bowl past chemistry. Bruising back, obviously one of the better chems, which is why I've got it up to a 3. And without having the battle ready chem is one of the reasons why I knocked it down a few points. For the value, since he is under 10k, you're not going to get a better running back for that value. To be honest, pretty much getting any card for under 10k, that is good, is very good value. And out of 10, I'd give him an 8 out of 10. So he's definitely someone who you should pick up. If you have any ideas of players you want me to review, do let me know down in the comments. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the review. Pretty fun to make this review. If you have enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel for more content coming out soon. But for now, that's it from me. See you soon.